Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early February 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Scorpio collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Scorpio gang? In early February, it's Aquarius season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio gang in early February. What's the vibe? Let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. All right. This card always makes me laugh. I just think it's a funny piece of imagery, but it's a beautiful message that ties in with it. So you see this lovely lady here with that big old tree growing out of her head. I don't know, it just tickles my funny bone. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about her. So again, we have this lovely lady. She has a mask. She's surrounded by all these different books, and she has this tree that is growing out of her head. So when I see this, I think of knowledge. I think of information. That's like the big overarching theme I think of. And we should notice that the tree, it's not just a regular tree, but it's a fruit-bearing tree. So this is great for ideas when I see this. So whether it's ideas that for a business or ideas for a project or problem solving, when I see this, it's like my mind is sharp as a whip and I'm getting inspiration, eureka moments, aha moments. So just know, regardless of what you're going through right now, you might catch little flashes of clarity or things just seem to click. Now, aside from that, this card could be a heavy interest in something. So for some Scorpios, you might have your investigation cap on and you're trying to get information. Like I'm a bloodhound and I'm searching for information. That's what this card feels like to me sometimes. So just know whether it's a thirst for information or like it could be a lot of different things. It's great for learning things. But yeah, that's the main vibe I'm getting here. And there's a great mindset connected to it as well. So we're just going to let her chill out. There's a little undertone of communication with that funny card as well. But we'll let her hang out right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always said that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio gang. What do we got? While we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading because it was indeed a doozy, my friends. The reading was titled A Serious Warning, and it felt a little wild. So I'm hoping for a lot of my fellow Scorpios out there it wasn't too wild for you. But there was a lot of people. There was like no more Mr. Nice Guy type of energy. There was like power struggles and arguments. It just felt a little wild to me. So hopefully that wasn't the case for a lot of you. Just know that energy could bleed over a little bit. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Scorpio gang in early February. What do we got? Hopefully we leave that. All right. I mean, Empress is a great start. It's a great start. Hopefully it stays that way. Or it could be very similar to what we saw last week where like other people's energy is what's showing up heavily for some reason. Let's keep going. Let's get a couple more here for Scorpio gang. What do we got? Thank you. Okay, the moon. So we got this hidden energy. Okay. It's a compatible energy for Scorpio. And just like I was saying, like I'm searching for information. Then we get the moon, the big card of mysteries. Let's get one more. One more here for Scorpio. What do we got? Thank you. Strength. All major arcana. Very powerful. Very powerful energy. Lots of different elements popping up here. So I am cautiously optimistic at what I'm seeing, Scorpio. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know, I always like to look at the elements first. I feel like that really highlights certain areas that we could be looking at, and it tells us how the energy is flowing. So we have a big difference. We have fire, we have water, and then we have this Venus energy. I'm not going to call this earth, air, water or fire. Like, to me, it's Venus. That's the big thing with the Empress. But they're all major arcana. Now, in the tarot deck, major arcana represent big themes, powerful energies. So there is a certain intensity. So surprise, surprise, we have some intense energy in a Scorpio reading, right? I'm sure you're not shocked. But yeah, I mean, Venus energy, it's very pleasurable, right? Like, when I see that, it's enjoyment, it's having a good time. Yeah, it could tie into pleasures of the flesh. But whenever I see Venus energy, I just think of, I don't want to say materialistic things, but it's just enjoyment. Then we have water. That's Scorpio's power place, right? Your power element, your power position. Feeling right at home with this water energy. It represents the internal world. So the rich inner world that a lot of water signs have. And it could represent creativity, thinking outside the box, similar to that card we saw in the beginning. Water element can tie to things that we care deeply for, people or things or situations that we're emotionally invested in. And it is the suit of love, but we're not just going to stick to that alone. Great for creative things. The downside with the Venus energy is that it could be a little excessive sometimes, or there could be temptation involved. The downside with the water is that sometimes it's a little up in the air. Then we move to the fire. That's the realm of action. So the actions we take, the actions other people take. Think of vitality. Think of energy levels, passion, motivation. That's what we think of with fire. And I like it normally, but the downside to fire is that sometimes it could be unpredictable. Sometimes it could be a little volatile or explosive, but I'm not too nervous about it. The energy just feels intense. So let's go through and start building it out piece by piece. Position number 1, the beautiful Empress. Now, we already spoke about what Venus energy means to me. As far as zodiac signs go, when I look at the Empress, I think of Libra, I think of Taurus, because they are both ruled by Venus. So when I look at her, I think of blessings. I think of abundance. I think of my cup runneth over. I have more than enough and then some. This is a beautiful energy to be present in. It is a divine feminine goddess, and she's just a lovely energy from top to bottom. So we like the Empress around here. She could represent motherhood. She could represent mother figures. Think of just that fruitful abundance. This is a creator, a true creator. Now, the downside to the Empress energy, because again, it has a lot of great positive aspects. Every card has its downside. Sometimes this energy, I don't want to say it could be too clingy, but sometimes it could be a little too heavy, like a wet blanket, if that makes sense. Sometimes this energy can be a little bit stubborn, and it can speak to excess. So we do want to keep a close eye on the Empress. I don't think it's a bad thing. In fact, I think it's probably going to turn out to be a really good thing. Unless you feel like there's someone or something that's cramping your style a little bit. But that's besides the point. Moving to the middle, we have the Moon. It's a bit of a misunderstood card, but although it is major arcana, it is very subtle in the way that it presents. Now, as far as zodiac signs go, your fellow water signs, Pisces and Cancer, usually get this one. Sometimes I'll slip this to Scorpio gang too, but we have a lot of cards anyway. But when I see the Moon, I think of intuition. I think of like psychic gifts. I think of the dream world, the etheric plane, and all that kind of stuff. It's a soft, subtle, intuitive type of energy. So often this card will show up when your spidey senses are tingling, or when your intuition is trying to tell you something, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Scorpio's known for a high intuition, so I would listen to that, especially with this showing up. But the downside, and I don't even want to call it a downside, the Moon can just be very mysterious. The Moon can be secretive. The Moon can be very hush-hush and quiet. So oftentimes it will show up when, there's certain pieces of information that are unknown, or there's something that's off your radar. So it could definitely be something that's unexpected. But yeah, worst case scenario, the Moon can be very secretive, and it could be someone or something purposely obscuring. So when I tie that with that energy we had in the very beginning, remember I was like bloodhound searching for information. Like it could tie in together, where there's something where it's like I need to figure it out. Now moving to the back end, we do have the Strength card. I like this. Now it can tie to a Leo if you're connected to a Leo or someone with Leo placements. Here you go. This is a very angelic card. It's a karmic card as well. Notice we have the angel with the infinity symbol over her head. And to me, I don't think of physical muscles and strength when I see this card. I think of someone's strength of character, who they are on the inside, what makes you, you. So to me, this is a card of nurturing, loving, caring, very similar to the Empress, fighting demons with love as opposed to force. So it is a softer touch. But this is huge when it comes to someone's character. Now, strength can also represent when we're resisting something. So whether it's a behavior, a person, a habit, when I see strength, it's like I am resisting, I am holding back. Like that could be part of it. The downside to strength is sometimes this energy could say, screw it, I'm not holding back anymore. Like this could be an energy that can cave to temptation. So when I see little hints like the Empress and Strength, could there be something that you will find very tempting? Could something happen that will be very tempting to you? Could something test you in a way? Very possible. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Scorpio. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Scorpio gang. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Empress. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the Empress here? Why is she here? Thank you. Okay. So we do have the Nine of Swords in the upright. Someone's a little stressed here. Okay. All right. So, you know, sometimes we can fall back into old patterns in times of stress. And I know, like, listen, this is all intuitive, right? That's how this feels to me, where it's like I'm feeling a little stressed or I'm feeling a little wound up. I just want to feel good. I just want to feel better. And it's kind of pleasure seeking. That's part of it. That's only a part of it. So I would say in this time, watch out for that, especially if there's certain things or behaviors you're trying to hold back from, because this energy just wants to feel good. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all want to feel good. But the Nine of Swords is a card that is stressed. All right. So when I see it, it's stressed, it's anxious, it's nervous. If this isn't somebody stressing about you or someone you're connected to stressing, you could very well be picking up on the anxiety of somebody else in this time, especially if you're an intuitive with the moon in the center. But I do see someone that could be wound up. I do see a little bit of pleasure seeking happening here, where it's like, I need to distract myself. I need to distract myself. That's initially what I'm picking up. Now, that's not the end of the story, but that just shows up here, specifically if you're connected to a Libra or a Taurus. Like this energy shows up heavily. All right, so we see someone wound up that just wants to feel better. That's understandable. Let's go in on the moon. I don't feel like we need to spend a whole lot of time here. Very simple. Let's, for a small portion of you, because again, I link the Empress with the material world, like watch out for money-related things, finance-related, but I don't even feel like that's a lot of you. To me, it's more so either someone being really wound tight, anxious, or nervous, or that pleasure-seeking, like I just want to feel good. All right, let's go in on the moon. Let's go in on the moon. Let's see what that has for Scorpio. Oh, okay. The card like, oh, okay. Wow. Wow. Talk about a turnaround. So we have the Wheel of Fortune in the upright underneath the moon. This is huge. This is big. Now, the wheel itself, I always say that's my good luck charm. That is my four-leaf clover. That's luck being on my side. Now, sometimes can it be a little risky? Sure. Everyone knows Scorpio could be very bold. So just watch that. And this time you might be a little more risky than you normally are. You might be a little more willing to gamble it up a little bit. But the Wheel of Fortune, either it's a change or this is like a win, victory, triumph, whatever we want. To me, it feels like a turnaround. It feels like a very rapid, fast turnaround because the thing with the wheel, it moves quickly and it expands quickly. So underneath the secrecy of the moon, we got the Wheel of Fortune. That is 100% surprising, unexpected win or victory or even a change or all three. It could be all of them. The first thing I felt when the wheel turned out was like, that is a turnaround. So there could be something that might not be looking too hot right now, right? Like with the Empress and the Nine of Swords, it's like, I don't have any signs that this is going to change or this isn't looking too good. This could be that unexpected, surprising, or just out of the blue turnaround or change. So if it is a change, it's the change for the better. That's how it feels to me. And when it popped out, I'm telling you, I got hit with like a blast of enthusiasm. So I think it's actually really good. We're going to see if it still holds. One thing I do need to mention, this is also a karmic card, just like the one we have coming up next. We're not going to pigeonhole the reading just into that. So yeah, those are the main two things. Either it's like a turnaround or a change that comes in out of the blue, or this is like a crazy stroke of good luck for a lot of Scorpios out there. So if you're willing to take a risk or gamble, like you might be rewarded for it. Again, don't take that advice from me. Right? I have Aries placements on top of Scorpio, so I could be a little risky myself. Doesn't mean you have to be. Let's go in on the strength card. We'll see what that has, then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. Cool. Good. That's a change for the better. It feels like night and day. Feels like night and day. So, what do we got? Yeah, and there it is. Scorpio, this is one of the better readings we've seen in a while. And I know like a couple weeks ago we had some good energy, but it's even better now. Like, I don't even know how we topped it. So we have the Six of Wands in the upright underneath strength. So to me, a process paying off. Your strength will pay off. Something you are experiencing or have experienced pays off for you in the end. Like, straight up. Now, again, there's big pointers towards Leo here. So if you're connected to Leo, they are showing up heavily because both of these cards link to Leo. But the Six of Wands, complete and total victory, right? We see this person, they're in a parade, they got their laurels, they're being celebrated, they're gaining recognition. So there's just something here about you potentially catching more attention or eyes than you normally do when we see this card. It's like all eyes on me. That's how this feels, especially underneath the strength card. So I know I could keep throwing out the labels here, like the victories, the payoffs, the wins. Suffice to say that this back end is all the energy that we want. Like, we want to claim this because this one pops in out of the blue. This one is beautiful recognition. So I'm pretty excited about the week ahead for a lot of the Scorpios here. I mean, we do have this little bit of tension here, but this could be separate than what's going on in the rest of it. Love that Six of Wands. And again, it's like I'm catching someone's eye. I'm catching someone's attention. So I know Scorpios are generally more private. But this energy is kind of out there in the limelight. So let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. Beautiful reading overall this week. I'd say like 5 out of the 6 cards are extremely claimable to me. But if you look here in the box, position number 1, we have the Empress with the Nine of Swords. Now, yeah, could this be a Libra or Taurus? That's a little wound up, anxious, nervous. Yeah. Could you be intuitively feeling, because you've always heard about a mother's intuition, could you be intuitively feeling distress or anxiety from someone else? Absolutely. But a big thing I was picking up here is pleasure seeking, where it's like, I just want to feel good. Like, I just want to feel good, and that's understandable. No judgment here. Moving to the center, we have the Moon with the Wheel of Fortune, completely out of the blue, a 180, a big turnaround, unexpected, surprising, whatever words we want to use. It's like a change, where it's like night and day, and it feels good to me. Could be a winner or victory that pops in out of the blue, kind of like what we saw a couple weeks ago. And then it continues because we get back here to strength and the Six of Wands, something paying off. So either it's something you've already experienced or a process you're going through that even if it's not too savory and it's taking some willpower, it will be worth it in the end. That's exciting. And that makes me very happy to see it. And because I feel uplifted. With all the energy this week, it's super positive for a Scorpio reading, for sure. So we got wins, victories, we got it all. Luck being on your side. You might catch a few lucky breaks. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Scorpio gang. What do we got? And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get to one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out for you, my friends. Let's see, what do we got? What is in the shadows? Okay, all right. So I'll take it. The Page of Cups is a Scorpio power card, so I think it's a pretty decent shadow card to have. Now, there are some downsides, there are some shadow sides to it, and we will discuss it. But the good thing, the fact that it is a Scorpio power card, and the fact that it's in the shadows, this could speak about a conversation you're not expecting to have. Could it tie into this? Could it be some sort of communication or conversation you're not expecting, especially with the Page of Cups in the shadows? Sure. Now, the shadow side of the Page of Cups, sometimes this could be an energy that will suppress. Sometimes this will be an energy that bites its tongue and says, maybe this isn't the right time to talk about it. Maybe this isn't the right time to say something. So when I see this, and again, I know Scorpio is a very bold and very brave zodiac sign, there could be something that you're unsure about when this card is here. Whether it's something you're unsure about saying, something you're unsure about addressing, or just the situation in general where it's like, I just don't know how this is going to go. And that's natural, right? Just because you feel unsure doesn't mean that it's going to go badly. But yeah, the Page of Cups, just watch out for that and watch out for emotional suppression. But we're going to leave it at that, Scorpio. That's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could have a little chat. My February calendar is up, so go check that out. They usually go pretty quick. But for the February subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice different style this month. We're doing a winner's choice. So the winners, which will be 3, will have their choice of the Tarot of the Owls, the Gilded Tarot Royale, or a handmade crystal pendant from my shop, mastermetaphysics.com, once again. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards we saw in this week's reading, which one caught your attention the most, whether it really inspired you or hit you right in your feelings. Anyone that stood out to you, and you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.